lecture, he made that slide. Where do we stand really in corruption? The rank is not in single digit. Out of more than 190 countries, world countries that have been ranked by Transparency International, we ranked 85th. And you know what the sad part is? Last year we were 72nd. We dropped 13 notches. In cricket and World Beauty Contest, we go up the ladder, but in corruption, we keep dropping. And as you know, I don't have to explain, 85th rank is, we have 84 countries ahead of us that are better nations in terms of delivering governmental services and goods to the people in the appropriate time designated. And out of the 30 leading exporting countries in the world, India ranks the last. This rank, again, is a Transparency International's index. What does it translate into a common man's life? Because the common man doesn't care about these ranks and numbers and statistics. What does it mean? Except for eating the food on the plate in his house or going to the bathroom, he has to pay a bribe for everything. And that includes each one of you. And there is a price list. Every department, every service, every citizen, there is a price list. And the depressing part is, everybody knows the price list for the bribe, but there is a very small, negligible percentage that knows the exact price list. Not to put any one of you in the audience on the spot or make you feel ignorant or illiterate in terms of these price lists, can anyone tell in the audience, from the audience, tell what it costs to get a birth certificate from the Tamil Nadu government revenue department? Free of cost? I wish that is the right answer. Any other choices? It costs 1 rupee. 1 rupee to get a birth certificate. It costs 60 rupees to get a learner's license. It costs 350 rupees to get a two-wheeler license. It costs 9 rupees to get a marriage certificate. This is the exact actual price list stipulated by the Tamil Nadu government, and this price list varies from state to state, and for central government services there are different prices obviously. But everybody knows it takes 2,000 rupees to get a license. It takes 3,000 rupees to get an electricity board connection. It takes 7,000 rupees to get a land patta. But that is not the price list that's going to help us. What is fifth pillar? The host introduced us as an organization fighting corruption. Fifth pillar was formed 13 years back. The concept was formed 13 years back in 1997. And for the first few years, 7 to 8 years, it did not catch up momentum simply for the reason that majority of the Indian citizens thought that this is a daunting task. It is a Herculean task. It cannot be achieved. So majority of the citizens who lived in that period, 97 to 2005, 2006, could not take it up to the next level, but they did not give up. They carried the baton until then, and then came the Right to Information Act in 2005, after which the then members made it a point to take it further. From 2006, fifth pillar has been actively pursuing field level activities, helping citizens to obtain their fundamental rights without paying a bribe. That is, if somebody approaches us. We cannot go after the millions of corrupt people, punishing them. We cannot go after the millions of citizens, helping everyone. But we are like the doctor. We have a clinic. If a patient approaches us, we help them, and it's guaranteed service, no bribe, same cost that the government has stipulated. And as most of you would have been already aware, there are 4 pillars of democracy. The first is the legislative, that is all the elected officials, elected people in government, from the MLA to the Panchayat President to the MP to the Minister, Chief Minister, Prime Minister, all of them form the first pillar. The second pillar is the executive, that is the officials, all the IAS, IPS, IRS, IFS, and all the Tahsildars, policemen, everybody is the second pillar, executive. The third pillar is the judiciary, all the courts and the people forming the judiciary. They are the third pillar, and the fourth pillar is the press. And this has been set up logically in order. If the first pillar creates laws, the second pillar enacts the laws. executes the laws. The third pillar fixes any dispute between the first and the second pillar. If the public are not satisfied with any of the laws, if they go to court, that is when the third pillar comes into picture. The fourth pillar's job is to pat on the back if the three pillars do a commendable job, and to catch them on their collars if they don't do a good job. That is the job of the press. When all these four pillars function effectively, a democracy will thrive and flourish. And we have seen that example in several democratic countries in the world, where all these four pillars function more than 80 to 90% effectively for the good of the people and the citizens. Whereas in India, all the four or one of the four is always shaking, and there is a lot of rust, and there is a lot of disbelief from the side of the citizen on each one of those four pillars. And that is why every one of us, the citizens, form the fifth pillar. That is the naming, the reason for the naming of the organization as the fifth pillar. We celebrate Independence Day and Republic Day every year. 2 times a year we celebrate, we distribute sweets, put a flag on our shirts, but then the question remains, are we really free? Why haven't we attained freedom from corruption? Probably, this is just a suggestion. We are not judging any one of you, but in our past 3 to 4 years of experience, we have got these answers from audience like you. We have conducted several freedom from corruption campaigns, mostly in colleges and schools, and we feel that these 5 words and a few more probably are forgotten. The real meanings are forgotten. Freedom, like I said, 2 times a year. Flag hoisting, sweets, flags, that is it. You don't have the freedom to ask, why do you want 2,000 rupees for a license? You don't have the freedom to ask, why do you want 6,000 rupees for a patta? Duty and patriotism, not just when it is convenient. Unfortunately, in India, the word patriotism is associated with the Indian cricket team winning the match. In America or Singapore or China, that's not the case. They're not, all of them are not democratic countries. China is a communist. Some people say democracy doesn't work for India. We don't need democracy. We need a military rule. We need a Hitler. But that doesn't work because we have seen nations with such rules also fail miserably. Patriotism also involves sticking on the right side of the law, not breaking the rule, not jumping the red light, not spitting on the road, not urinating in public, not succumbing to the pressures of corruption and bribery. It is very easy, very convenient to wear the mask and say, I don't have the time. It's very easy to wear the mask and say, if I don't pay, somebody else is going to pay, and I'm going to be let out. But that is not the case. There are alternatives, very clear, practically usable alternatives. When a few thousand members and supporters of Fifth Pillar can achieve it, why can't you? We don't have an extra sense. We all have 6 senses. We have 1 brain, 2 arms, and we are able to get it. When few of us are able to get it, why not you all? Today it is a call for more of you to join us in the fight against corruption, the war against corruption. Rights. as you know, everybody is expecting things to be handed over. It's not going to happen. At least it's not going to happen in the next 10 to 15 years. But every department has a code of conduct. For example, every government employee needs to get a written letter of permission and approval from his immediate manager to buy anything worth more than 10,000 rupees. If you touch on that pressure point, you can get your job done. If you ask for the name of a government employee, that is not giving you a right. If somebody says come after 3 weeks, all you have to do is ask their name. The moment you ask their name, they get jittery and they immediately make a U-turn in their attitude. Poison. Why poison? Because the 1,000-headed serpent called corruption has bit our nation. 40 years back, 30 years back, we don't know. The poison is spreading. It started from Delhi probably, then came to each capital city, and then probably every district capital, district headquarters, and it's percolating to every village in India. We all have two choices. One is to watch the poison spreading and safely hope that we all will die before the poison gets to us. The second choice is we can control the poison from spreading right now. Today when you go to sleep, if you take a pledge that you will not pay a bribe in this country, starting tomorrow, that makes 500 of us. We have been doing this for the last 4 years, and we intend to do this for the next coming decades until the poison is totally controlled. Intelligence. Many people think it is smart to get a land registration done by paying 10,000 rupees, whereas it is really stupid because you don't have to pay the bribe. If you're really smart, you have to use your intelligence, a strategy, or call Fifth Pillar or any such organization that can help you get the job done without paying the bribe. I'm not wanting to sound boastful, but there is not one case in the last 4 years where Fifth Pillar has failed to help a citizen to get his or her job done from government departments. We have challenged every government department in Tamil Nadu, sometimes there is a catch though. I knew you were all saying, oh, I knew it. There is a catch, provided we stay on the right side of the law. We cannot help a citizen where there is no certificate. We cannot help a citizen who is 17 years old and wants a license. We cannot help a auto rickshaw driver who got caught by the police because he was drunk. We also do counseling to every section of the society that we need to stay on the right side of the law. It might be hard for the first time, but once you do it and taste success, then it's going to be really no looking backward. How do we do it? The 0 rupee note. Most of you would have got one before the session started, and the 0 rupee note is a weapon of non-cooperation and non-violence. We have distributed close to 10 lakhs so far, close to 1 million, and out of that, a couple of thousand people have used it, and we have received nothing less than a success story. Nobody has called us and said, I gave the 0 rupee note and I got myself in a mess. They have not called us with any negative stories, which means in a society like India, if there was a failure, there was a mishap, that would have been reported first to us. We are yet to receive such a negative story. This is how the front looks. Since you all have the copy, this is the back, and it contains the contact information of the organization. We have so far attended 600 plus colleges in and around Tamil Nadu, a few out in Andhra Pradesh and a few in Karnataka. We need all of your help to get us speaking on some stage like this every day, every hour. We are prepared for that. We have a full-fledged team that is working on a daily basis. We are an organization that works 9 to 6 every day, 6 days in a week. Please feel free to contact us, take us to your college, take us to your place of working, and keep us going and join us. More of you join. Our target date of 10 to 15 years can be reduced to less than 5 years. Do you recognize the kids that are on the picture? They are going to be your future bureaucrats. They are going to be your future politicians. That is why we are getting a contract, making them sign a contract with the nation that I will not take a bribe in my lifetime, because we tell them taking bribe is equivalent to stealing and begging. If only the people who take bribes today realize that, that curse will stop. This is a picture from the human chain that we conducted on Gandhi Jayanti last year on the Marina Beach. We do this 2-3 times every year. So all of you are welcome to join us in our next human chain so that we can make the chain even longer. This is a slogan one of our volunteers has come up. This is the 5th pillar slogan. The bold and the dutiful use 0 rupee note or the RTI Act. The others use bribe and influence. We have a 30 feet by 15 feet sized banner of the 0 rupee note on which we have obtained lakhs of signatures from the students we have reached out to in the last 4 years. This is one of the pictures. They take a verbal pledge before they sign on the banner. This is why we got to do it. I'm sure we all love India. Tom Parker from another country was on stage highlighting the good things of India. And each one of us, I think, should act one level, one notch above Tom Parker to make India proud. Thanks, Tom. And to help fellow organizations, fellow citizens of other countries, we have a zerocurrency.org that has the currencies of different nations replicated in the zero form. And interestingly, in the last 6 months, several nations, several NGOs from several countries have reached out to us and started, for example, ProPublic in Nepal has started using this. This morning, I got an email from an NGO in Mexico, Argentina last month, and there are several, this thing is catching up like a revolution. Before it catches up in another country in the world, let's do it in a larger scale in India. My time is up, so I'm going to wrap up really quickly in like 10 seconds. I'm going to quickly go through the slides, and we are going to put this slide up on our website, and you're welcome to download the slide. Take this presentation in your place of education or working. Do it yourself. You don't have to invite us, but if you find it easier to invite us, please do so. We are going to come up with a citizen's handbook sometime this year that will have a table for each department. What is the exact price? What is the procedure? If you are denied, where to complain? What are the phone numbers to complain? We have distributed only less than close to 1 million. As you all know, we are more than 1 billion plus population. But we don't intend to do this for the next 100 years. To make it happen in the next 10 years, we need all of your involvement and support. I hope everyone in this audience will join the organization or support the organization in some way or the other. If you have more questions, we are here. 7 of our colleagues are here. We are more than happy to answer your questions. And you can also send emails, join us over the phone, come to our office. We are headquartered in Kodambakkam. We have a chapter in almost every district in Tamil Nadu. Can we achieve this goal? Of course we can. Why? Because we are not rascals. And I'm sure you're all ready to break the silence. The moment we all break our silence, the corruption in our life is over. I've not paid a bribe in the last 4 years because I broke my silence.
Thank you one and all. I would no, all of you stand. I would like all of you to take an oath. Raise your right hands.
Can we raise this also, if you don't mind?
Yeah. I promise to neither accept nor give bribe. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's not a joke. I was serious about this. It's not a joke. This issue is not a joke. Sorry. Thank you.
I think he means his thank you was not a joke. He really meant thank you.
Could we have some questions? Anybody have a question like what will happen if you showed to a police guy or something like that? Any questions? Anybody?
My sister, she wanted to get passport. So some policemen came for asking some questions about her to get some information. For that, he asked 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees. So where we should go and complain about such a thing?
Well, the simple logical procedure in a society is call the superior official of that department. If the police station is in Chennai city, call the commissioner's office and tell which station he is attached to. But in a practical scenario like what we are all facing, it's harder for you to get through and get your problem solved. So at this point, you can call fifth pillar. We have people playing different roles in the organization. We have one person called the Director of Vigilance and Anti-Corruption, an equivalent of the government role. So he calls the respective police station and asks what is the name of the constable who went to this address and asked for 1,000 rupees. The moment we ask that, the constable or a colleague of his goes to the house and gets the verification done. So it does not boomerang, it does not backfire. So please believe this, because the unfounded fear has been the curse of our society. This is 21st century. We are not living in the 20th century. Things are changing. Every government employee fears for his or her job. If you touch that pressure point, they are more than willing to do their job. And if we start with 1%, 10 people, 100 people, 1,000 people, that is the way to go. So call us and we will be more than happy to help any one of you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Hi everybody, I have a question. Like, have you faced any problem in this 4 years? Because I've come across many such incidents who opposing that, obviously they are facing a problem. If we want to come into that, we are scared and our family gets scared. So can you tell me what is the thing?
Are you asking this because I have a bandage in my hand? This is not an occupational hazard. This is just a car accident, very old. My ligament is not healing. This is not because somebody beat up. I've been doing this 4 years full time. I've been as happy as you all are. I watch all the movies, I go to the beach, I have a family, I attend weddings, I do everything else that you all do. We have not been threatened even one time, because there is the story of 4 bulls and 1 lion. Then there is this story of 1,000 matchsticks. If you are a separate bull, you get threatened, you get attacked. If you are an organization, if you are a movement, you don't. So we don't do anything heroic. For example, it's not just me. I'm just a presenter today. That is why I did not talk who is behind the organization, because all of us are behind the organization. It's a large movement of people. That is why the name Fifth Pillar. I know it is very easy to have apprehensions like that, but that is a curse created by some of the movies. When you target an individual or a political party or somebody in politics, probably yes. But what we are doing is not that. We are not against anyone. We are for the people. We are for India. So we are not against anyone. We are not raising questions against anyone. If somebody comes for a passport, we call the passport office and get them the passport. Somebody comes for a land patta, we do that. Somebody says, I have not got my pension for the last 10 years, we help them get the pension. We are not accusing anybody, we are not pointing fingers on anyone. So when we do it in a polite, courteous, systematic, strategic way, we will not get attacked, we will not get threatened.
Thank you.
And we have training classes in our organization. Every Saturday, 4 to 6 p.m., there is a free training. And there we can talk more in detail about how we do it, and you all can get trained. The more of you get trained, our fellow citizens who don't have the luxury of a good education can also get benefited through your active participation.